Hello Animorphs fans and welcome back to the Animorphs Reviews YouTube channel. Today we're going to do some more Hogwarts house sorting because there was this comment on the previous video, Dust Spec 897. I'd like to see this with more Animorphs characters. I know your favourite character is Toby and I'm curious about where you would put her. You could also do the Chi, Aftran, the villains, the Chronicles characters, and I'd definitely love to see David, who I personally would think would be partially in Ravenclaw and partially Slytherin. Who would personally think though leaning more towards the latter. He's definitely not a Gryffindor and he's the farthest thing from a Hufflepuff. Did I reply to that? So JT actually commented on this saying Toby is Slytherin, Ulchi are Hufflepuffs, Visa 1 and 3 are Slytherin, as is Visa 3's sibling, Alran is a Gryffindor, Aftran is Hufflepuff, Russian president? He's getting Jay's going off the deep end there. But what we're going to do is the thing. And we should position that. So, I've put together a load of the sort of secondary characters. And I'm going to place them into the Hogwarts houses. So, you'll remember previously that I did the main characters. I'll put that video link at the end of this video if you want to go see them. But for now, let's do this lot. And we're starting with Aftran, the Yerk who started the Yerk peace movement. Now, with these secondary characters, it's actually going to be a lot more difficult than the main characters because there's less flesh on the proverbial bones, as it were. So we've got a lot less to work with. So Aftran was very open to Cassie's persuasion. Not very loyal to the in-house, so definitely I don't think a Slytherin. So more along these lines. With the word peace, you immediately think, "Ooh, let's leaning towards Hufflepuff." Do you stick Aftran in there? I don't think Aftran was particularly a Gryffindor. I'm going to put Aftran solidly in Hufflepuff there. With what we have to go on. Doesn't strike, basically by process of elimination, I don't think Aftran fits any of the other categories. So next up, Estrid, the young female Andalite who was sent down with Unit 0 in book 38, and she knew what was going on, and then by the end she was like, okay, yeah, actually maybe blowing up the Earth or sending out biological weaponry on Earth, maybe that's a bad idea. She's not a Slytherin. Again, I don't think she's Slytherin. Mostly because she's not Machiavellian. Because that's what Slytherins tend to be. They tend to be quite cunning and all that. And I don't see Estrid as being that at all. She's quite a good warrior. Not a warrior, a warrior. She managed to beat Axe, who by that point was very highly trained. I think she's got a bold streak to her. I don't think she's Hufflepuff. Nor do I think she's Ravenclaw? No, I'm sort of gearing towards Gryffindor. Around here, in that part of Gryffindor. Visa 1, Idris. Was she very Slytherin? She was very cold, but that's not necessarily a Slytherin thing. Very, very difficult. I don't think she's Ravenclaw. She's not the brains behind any of the operations or whatever. I don't think she's Hufflepuff. She's around here somewhere, hovering between Gryffindor and Slytherin. Because she was very courageous, and she did have a passionate side, and passion is, I believe, it's very much a Gryffindor or Slytherin thing. She wasn't particularly cunning. She was very sort of. Then again, she started the sharing, which is like the ultimate covert thing. It's not very overt. I'm putting her more towards Slytherin, so sort of up here. So I think she's quite far away from Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff. Toby Hammy. Ooh, Tospec said Slytherin. Oh no, JT said Slytherin. And Ravenclaw, she's very smart, but it's more of a tactical smart. Oh, she's not Hufflepuff. She's sort of around here, I think. Is she Gryffindor? I think not. I think she's more sort of here. Because she has got a very... She is at some point basically saying, yeah, we're going to have to get people killed, but, you know, it needs to be freaking done, doesn't it? Was she particularly cunning? I think she did have her cunning side to her. And this something I need to study more is Toby Hammy, because she was very subtle. Very subtle, which is not a very Gryffindor trait. She's very much like around here. So, not completely Slytherin, like over here. She's close to Gryffindor, but she's also quite close to Ravenclaw, I think. Probably bordering, about around here. Around here. Very middle of the road. She is the wise one of the Hawkbajir community. The wise woman. Yeah, so she's just crossing over into Ravenclaw, predominantly in Slytherin, but we're sort of leaning more towards Gryffindor. She's one of those. Tom. Okay, so by this I mean Tom's Yerk. Post Temrash. Oh, very... I mean, you just have to look at books 53 and 50... Well, 53. He was trying to be very, very cunning. Very cunning, but also absolute backstabbery. Tom's up here. Basic Tom's there. You just make him out in the top corner up there. He's just like the ultimate Slytherin. I think we might see some other ultimate Slytherins in here somewhere. Lauren, talking specifically about pre-main series Lauren, so and like Chronicles Lauren. Solid Gryffindor. I don't think there's any question about it. She wasn't cunning at all. She was very courageous, bold, to the point where it's almost obnoxious. So she's like the opposite of Tom. Well, not complete opposite, but she's a strong Gryffindor. Perhaps down a bit, leaning more towards Hufflepuff a little bit, but yes, solidly Gryffindor. Cryak, okay. Where do you put godly figures in this? Where do you put godly figures? They're just playing a game. Read the Animorphs Chronicles and you'll know what I mean. They're just playing a game. I mean, what kind of traits can you give him? He's certainly not Hufflepuff. Ravenclaw? I mean, he is godly, so he's probably quite wise, even though he's evil as fuck. Gryffindor? No, he's too sly. He's sort of like over here. Tom's more Slytherin than Cryak. And I'm being genuine there, he probably is, because Cryak, you know... With these godly figures, I don't know. Where's the Ellimist, by the way? There's the Ellimist. Okay, where do I put him? Probably the same. Like, exactly the same. What if I just, like, overlay that? Overlay. There we go. So it's a... maybe... No, a screen. Yeah, screen. So... Those two sort of just hang around with each other. Up there. Okay. Is that fair? Is that fair? Because they're both playing basically the same game. One good side, one evil side. And they're both like using all their cunning and foresight to say, right, I'll move that puzzle piece, and I'll achieve my ultimate goal that way. You know, I don't see it being anything other than Slytherin, honestly. So I'll probably put him even further that way. But a bit more Ravenclaw than Tom. Because Tom was just... There's nothing really particular... I mean, come on. What is Ravenclaw? Hold on a minute. Learning, wisdom, wit, and intellect. That's Ravenclaw. Like comedians. Comedians would probably be Ravenclaw. Learning, wisdom, wit, and intellect. I suppose Tom... I think they would all... Tom would come down a little bit because, I mean, for the plan he came up with, you know, it requires a fair bit of critical thinking. So pull him down a little bit. These two here, the two gods, put them there. Like, bordering Ravenclaw, Slytherin. Both of them. So they're both basically the same, but on opposite sides. Okay. Elfangor. Where do we put old Elfie? I think he's got solid Gryffindor about him. He isn't particular. Oh, the cunning side came into play with giving the Animorphs the power to morph, which was an illegal act, which is a very Slytherin thing. So pull him more towards here. Hufflepuff. But down a little bit. Yeah, I think about there. I think about there is fine for Elfangor, you know. He broke the whole... Like, Slytherins will break the law in order to achieve something. Whether that thing be good or bad, Elfangor definitely broke the law of Ciro's kindness in order to do something that he thought was good. Which is a very... sort of Gryffindor as well, but more associated with Slytherin. So, yeah, I think about there is fine. I think he's definitely Gryffindor, but with slight Slytherin leanings. And probably midway down, like Lauren, towards Hufflepuff. Not very close to Hufflepuff, but a little bit leaning that way. Right, David. David. He's... Oh, where'd you go, mate? Definitely... But he's around here. Ooh. Where are we going to put you? Yeah, it's around here. He is pretty smart, but he's not... I don't think he particularly thrives on learning wit and wisdom. So I'll put him about here. Yeah. I mean, he prices himself on being smart, so that's more of a Ravenclaw trait. So I put him more Ravenclaw than Tom, for example. So yeah, he goes about there. Who's this? Oh, Jarahami. Or who I've basically labelled as Jarahami. Let's make that a bit bigger so it's easy to see. I mean, around here, probably. What's Hufflepuff trait again? Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw are just freaking nothing houses, aren't they? Hufflepuff traits. Hard work, dedication, patience, loyalty, and fair play. Ooh, okay. Known to have a strong moral code and a sense of right and wrong. Usually accepting of everyone. Okay. So where would old Jara go? He's not Slytherin or Ravenclaw. He's over here. He's either down there or up there. I think he is very bold and brave. So leaning towards Gryffindor. Yeah, sort of around here, I'd say. Move. Yeah, he's like as far away from Slytherin and Ravenclaw as you can get. Okay, so quite far removed from his daughter there. Eric. Okay, we're getting into Eric now. Ooh, well, this depends, right? If you buy into the Cheespiracy, he's freaking up here. Machiavellian as shit, man. Then you could look at fair play, patience, but that's only if you don't buy the Cheespiracy. So hard work, dedication, patience, loyalty, and fair play. Oh no, he's like... It depends. Do you see the cheat as being bad guys like playing both sides, or do you see them as being genuine but just bad writing made it seem sometimes like they were the dicks? That's the question we're asking, and I'm going to take the series at face value for this particular instance, in which the Chi were the good guys. It's just that a lot of times the writing was written badly enough that it made it seem as if the Chi were the bad guys. So I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to put them firmly in Hufflepuff over here. Hold on, where are you? There you are. Sort of like here. Cause I really don't think they're Gryffindor. They're definitely Hufflepuff territory. Ravenclaw, no, they're sort of hive mind. So I don't think. Yeah, I'm thinking solid Hufflepuff down here, below Aftran even. There's no sort of medium Ravenclaws or Hufflepuffs at the moment. Maybe we'll get one. Aldria. Where would you go, Aldria? Again, it immediately gives me Gryffindor vibes. But she did play Dakami a little bit. She was a bit manipulative in that regard. I think she's like up here. She's bordering Slytherin Gryffindor. Yeah, I think she borders. If she were to fall on one particular side, I would put her Slytherin. Honestly, I'll put her about there. So Aldria is a Slytherin. Dakami, her boyfriend. Oh. Right. From when we first meet him, he's over here somewhere. He's with Jara. Then, as we progress into Phase 2, Dakami, he becomes Ravenclaw. What is he by the end of that? I don't think he ever crosses into the cunningness of a Slytherin. I don't think he ever crossed that boundary into a Slytherin. So I'd say he's more about here. Somewhere around here, I think. So maybe we do finally have our mid Ravenclaw. Dakami. Because I think Toby Hammy was more Slytherin than Dakami. Definitely. And Dakami is probably a bit more Ravenclaw. I'll put him there actually. He's a bit more Hufflepuff than Toby was. So yeah. Dakami about there. I think that seems fair. Raptor. Where are we going to put Raptor? Yeah, he is just for funsies. Right, Raptor is a cunning bugger. Because, you know, every time I've done a forfeit, he's like, yeah, I'm doing it genuinely, and he's not. He's not, which is a definite Slytherin trait. He knows his way around, you know, software and all that, but nah, he's solid Slytherin. You just see his hand. Like major Slytherin vibes. Nah, he's like... Put him there. Oh, right there, next to Toby. You're going to be next to Toby. Love you, mate. Right, Visser 3. The big baddie Visser 3. He's like one of the bad Gryffindors, because he is not cunning. Don't for a minute tell me that he has got any of that cunning. He's very loyal to the Yerk cause. He is. He was more loyal to... Yeah, he's very loyal to the Yerk cause. And he's very bold and brash. Not very intellectual at all. He strikes me as the bad Slytherin. You know, that there's that... In the movies, I think the Slytherins are always like the good guys, but I've read like bits here and there of Slytherins that are actually bad guys, like full-on jocks and all that. Like those bad jocks you see in those like 1950s American movies, where they're just complete assholes. They're just so full of themselves and nerd, that sort of thing. He strikes me as someone like that. I mean, you could say, is he cunning? But then you look at the plans that he came up with. Oh, let's get rid of free will. Let's make an anti-morphing ray. They're not really smart ideas. He wasn't a smart guy. When was he at his most Machiavellian? It was in Visser, when he faked the Andalite bandits attack. But it failed because he just has no foresight. He can't see 5 minutes ahead of himself. He really cannot. So yeah, I'm going to put him as like solid Gryffindor, like up here. Maybe bordering like an inch towards the Slytherin side, but yeah, largely he's just that fucking asshole jock sort of figure, but given massive weapons and an army behind his back. And no ethical standards. Right. Also, before I forget, another reason for him to be in Gryffindor rather than Slytherin. Slytherins are very... so... they're supposed to be very loyal to people of their own kind. So, like, racists and shit will be in like, far-end Slytherin. So, they'll be happily kill, like, people of other groups, but they'll really hold on to their own. Like, they'll be passionate about holding on to their own. And they are just genuinely passionate people, which I don't think Visser 3 is. And he kills his own people willy-nilly. He's got no care for his own in-kind sort of thing. So yeah, I think another argument for a solid bad Slytherin. Gryffindor, sorry. Chappers. Just like with Lauren, we're talking pre-war. So not Yerk Chapman, Chapman, like actual Hedrick Chapman. Well, if the Andalite Chronicles was to go what we went by, then again he'd be like probably Visser 3 territory, where he's not very... What am I doing? He'd be up in Visser 3 territory because he's not very clever. He very much fits into that Visser 3 mould up here, which is probably why Visser 3 like related to him so much and kept his host around. But like in Book 2, Visser, where he's very self-sacrificial, sacrifices himself for the life of his daughter. Again, that's actually very Gryffindor. So come on, chappers, up here. Just sneaking over Lauren up there. Funny enough, you're just sort of looking over Lauren up there. That's where you belong, mate. I think that, but no, looking after his daughter like that is a very Slytherin trait, you know, like in family sort of thing. So probably up here. Maybe where Aldrit is. I don't know. It's weird. He's definitely not over here. He's somewhere along the top here. Because he's definitely not Ravenclaw. He's not far-end Slytherin. He's definitely not low-end Hufflepuff. He might have a little bit of Hufflepuff in him, but yeah, he's around here. But is he solid Gryffindor, or is he leaning Slytherin? I'd say leaning Slytherin. He's about up there. He's actually quite close to Fangor, actually. Funnily enough. Right, Geek Truth. He knows an awful lot about sci-fi. I think he's kind of a peaceful guy. He's not as Slytherin as Raptor. Oh, I'd put. What do Hufflepuffs like again? Loyalty, fair play, hard work, dedication. He runs a YouTube channel, very dedicated thing. I'd put him sort of near Dak over here. Where would I put you? Oh, where do you go? It says hard work. Geek Truth hardly ever uploads any videos. Sorry, mate. That sinks you down into Ravenclaw. There we go. You're down there. Well, you're not very Slytherin, I don't think. So you're just a bit... You're around Dak Hammy's level there. Medibollocks. Our last one for today. I had to include you, Medi. Don't you... I had to include you. Just comes into the channel and trolls me, basically. You're always trying to outsmart me, which sort of leans you towards Ravenclaw over here. I don't think... You're very dedicated, though, to... tell you what, you can be our mid-Hufflepuff. What's Hufflepuff for again? Patience, loyalty, fair... Yeah, I think you're a Hufflepuffian. That's what you are. Leaning more towards Ravenclaw. Let's just put you next to Aftran there. There you go, mate. You're sneaking in from behind Aftran's picture over there. Well, that's that. It's a nice spread, I think. Certainly a lot more Gryffindor and Slytherin than anything else, but I think that's to be expected. I think you'd agree. You know, a series like Animorphs where it's a war, you're probably going to get more Slytherins and Gryffindors active. So I'm pretty happy with this. Let me know what you think. I've had fun putting this one together. Not as hard as I actually thought. Some of them were. Definitely some of them were. But hey ho, Pip and Dandy. This has been another video on the Animorphs Reviews YouTube channel. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share. Tatty bye. I shall see you next time. Ta-ra!